Our crypto users earning thousands of dollars every week without doing anything? Well, they're using DeFi. And DeFi is an opportunity that exists out there within the crypto space. So what you're doing is you're allowing yourself to operate in the blockchain that can help you earn. Some of you might have already know a little bit about Bitcoin and things like that, but what we're going to show you is how people purchase and sell Bitcoin when they're not doing it on a centralized exchange. So they use something called a liquidity pool. So a liquidity pool is essentially utilized on a DEX to allow people to swap. You might be familiar with like a Uniswap or a Pancake Swap, maybe even Equalizer. But what we do differently is we incentivize liquidity to be placed on our protocol so that people can perform swaps. And we're going to go through it so that you have a good understanding. And then we'll show you how to create liquidity and earn interest or APR on that liquidity. So why we have liquidity is so that people can swap. We have a 50-50 mix on our liquidity pools of each asset, and people are then basically putting one asset in and getting the other asset out of the other side. So basically you've got a liquidity provider who comes in and places, in this case 100 ETH and 1,000 tokens of something else. It could be equal, it could be anything. The trader comes in and he sends 1 ETH and he gets 10 tokens out because that's the ratio that he would be taking the tokens out for what he's depositing in. So hopefully this gives you a good understanding of how a liquidity pool works and the reason why we have liquidity pools. Liquidity pools are there so that we can use what we call a smart contract to conduct a swap. As we showed here, you have these traders that come along and they basically put the ETH in and take the other token out. It's almost as simple as that. We're going to move on here and we're going to look at some liquidity pools in essence. So effectively here, you're getting a look at the liquidity placed on this network here. Now, on these two assets, in every case here, you've got FTM and Chill in the same liquidity pool, which gives a price for that asset. But the thing that I want to show you more on this aspect of it is that for providing, people are earning 338% APR to house those two assets together so that people can swap. So this is where you're starting to see the ability to earn an interest or an APR by providing liquidity. I want to quickly bring up the FTM USDC pool. It's paying out 45%, and all you need to do is pair those two assets together. And currently, there's $7.4 million in USDC in this one pool and $18.6 million worth of FTM in the other pool. And that's the ratio that they can be swapped at the moment. For doing that, people are earning 46% APR. So now you're starting to see what I'm talking about, how you can simply provide liquidity for people and earn on that some rewards. And I'm going to show you on Dex Screener here. So if you come down here, you can see people are adding liquidity here, and that shows when they add. But you can also see that people were able to sell in that liquidity. So effectively, the total amount of this trade was $679 USD. It happened in front of our eyes. But someone placed 1,700 FTM into the pool and effectively got $679 USDC back out, because this pool, remember, is an FTM USDC pool. So they're trading the assets into the pool, which we have down here, which is your FTM, and you have USDC sitting in that pool. And these numbers are going to slightly change as people come in and conduct more and more of these trades. So now I'm going to show you how simple it is to actually provide that liquidity. So what you do, effectively select the two assets that you want to pair together. I come down here and do it in 2 stages. So all you do then is you hit confirm. Basically, it quickly goes through, does your transaction, and now it will have deposited the LP into the contract. And then all you need to do once that's occurred, stake your LP. So you've got down here this little button here, you click stake, it goes in, it opens up our MetaMask just like we saw before, and we quickly do a transaction. Hit confirm, and then basically your transaction will go through in the background there. Your LP will then be deposited and staked. So if you come back to the liquidity section within the page, you'll effectively see your liquidity staked in this section here. Takes a couple of seconds to upload, but your liquidity will sit there staked and you'll be able to see what you've contributed. I now want to go into an APR calculator and show you how this 47% APR, if compounded, whenever you get rewards, you then add it back into the pool, or you could then compound it by locking your equal and then earning fees. At 47% APR, you get 58% annual return. So if you had, in the case of a 1 year period where you put $100,000 into a pool, for instance, you effectively would get a $58,000 gain over the year because you're getting 58% APY on the actual funds that you put into that liquidity pool. So now you're starting to see how if you can do a little bit of farming or effectively provide liquidity, you're providing value. And for providing that value, you're going to receive something in return, which is the APR that comes from the pools that you're placing your liquidity in. So this is the gas tracker on FDM at the moment. And effectively, it's only about 1 cent to do a transaction. So you come in, you provide your liquidity, you do it all for a cent, and you earn the amazing APR